Welcome to the Make It Happen with Will Polston podcast.
So sleep then. So people want to look at improving sleep. They're having broken sleep, poor sleep. What would be the typical go-tos?
Well, the first point would be if they are playing with their phone or they have fake light on in the house, not candlelight or firelight, but if they have fake light on in the house within 3 hours of going to bed, they can improve their sleep by wearing blue blocking glasses.
So for people that are watching on YouTube, getting a set of these, no doubt there's many that you. In fact, I know you've got an Amazon shop, haven't you, with various different suggestions that you recommend. I'll put that in the show notes so people can access that for various things that we touch on. Blue blocking glasses. We need an absence of 3 hours before bed, melatonin secretion. Oh, it's paused. You're back. Okay, yeah, now
good. So we need 3 hours without blue light before going to bed for optimal melatonin secretion. We help produce melatonin during the day we get from natural light, and then we secrete it once there is an absence of blue light. So blue light blocking glasses obviously trick the body into thinking that it's nighttime, that there's no blue light, which you then start secreting melatonin and get ready for bed. So you need that for 3 hours. That is my non-negotiable biohack wherever I go. If I want to get tired, I stick them on in the evening early. So like if I'm on a date or something or other, I definitely don't put them on, not because I care how I look with them on. It's because I don't want to start falling asleep. So it's like, that's one way to be stimulated is the blue light. So that's number one for sleep. The other thing is if you're waking up in the middle of the night to pee, that's often a mineral imbalance, or it can be if you're a guy, a prostate issue, but generally it's mineral imbalance. It can also be down to hormones as well, because your daily routine is out, so your body still thinks it's during the day, so therefore you haven't got the hormone that is stopping you from peeing, basically. So balancing your day, it helps optimize your sleep. And I mean, for instance, if you think back to an ancestor, and I'll be really quick on this, they would wake with blue light in a cave with natural light. They wouldn't have an alarm clock. They didn't need it. They would then do their higher intensity exercise by going, killing an animal, or collecting fruit, or playing with the kids or whatever. They would then eat around lunchtime and then again in the afternoon. And they wouldn't have access to food in a fridge, so they would have it in the side of the cave, which would, go off if once it's been out for a certain amount of time. And so therefore they would have fermented foods, and it would be fresh and local and seasonal. So they'd be rotating the food seasonally, and they wouldn't necessarily get the intolerances that we get at the moment because they're rotating food. So then the sun would go down, and they would probably eat with campfire latest. They would then head to bed. Because it's nighttime, they would have no blue light, and they would sleep until the sun rises again. Now, sleep is a behavior that prevailed within our ancestors and us today for a reason. The ones that didn't sleep didn't survive. And the ones that slept during the day probably got eaten because animals sleep at night for the most part as well. So optimizing your day, knowing when you would exercise or should do to not increase stress hormones. For instance, people that finish work and then go and exercise at the gym at 7 or 8 o'clock, they're going to be spiking their cortisol levels. They're going to have stress when they need to be winding down. They're going to be pumped before they go to bed. And while they may think they sleep well, they actually don't. So exercising in the morning all the way up to 3 p.m. is ideal. And using blue blocking glasses and making sure that you're eating basically no later than sunset, because once sun sets, we have certain genes that switch off, and those genes govern how much insulin we create. So if you eat far after sunset, we produce up to 50 times less insulin, which means that our blood sugar levels are higher through the night. So instead of our organs being switched off and chilling out and helping detox and repair, it's actually still processing all the food that we've had through the day. And you can actually track this with the Aura Ring. And I've got a constant glucose monitor on as well. So if I eat later than sunset, my blood sugar is higher through the night. And then when my body finally finishes dealing with it at like 3 or 4 o'clock, that's when I drop into my deepest sleep. And whereas if I eat before sunset, my blood sugar comes straight back down again. I get into bed, and I have deep sleep much, much quicker and better. So really that is optimizing your day to optimize your sleep, which is probably the single biggest thing you can ever do to optimize your health.
You can find the full episodes of the Make It Happen with Will Polston podcast here on YouTube, on iTunes, Spotify, and all other major podcast platforms.